welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me, as always, is Trevor Scott.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
So, Trevor, before we move on to our usual sort of click pitch and stuff, I have a brief pitch that I thought I would bring to the table.
Okay, let me guess. It's a panty raid. Because you said brief.
Yeah, exactly. Briefs.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like briefs versus boxes.
Yes.
No, that's not what it is. But it's a very funny joke.
Yes. It wasn't prepared at all.
No, I just had an interesting idea, and it was from playing Overwatch a lot recently, and just sort of the enjoyment that comes from just the attacking things, like going through those motions. You know, I go on and do the daily quests each day and blah, blah, blah.
Pub stomping, all that sort of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking about a game where essentially you have some sort of giant creature that is slowly moving across a level, and everyone is working together to take it down. But what else? But what my thought was... Well, what my thought was is that when I say slowly, I'm talking it is going to take a month in a shared sort of environment of some sort. Almost a bit of Helldivers 2-esque thing. Like, this is essentially a campaign here, and everyone is just hammering away at this thing as much as they want to. And I was just really curious about, like, how much gameplay would you have to even put in there necessarily? Like, would people come online just to take a chunk of health off? And if you give them some stats and say you did 25,000 damage tonight, and you know, and maybe you have some like critical spots that come up to do more damage or whatever, and there's other people in there, and maybe you instance it or however you do it, but all of the damage is going towards this thing, and no one knows what's going to happen when it reaches the end. But you've been told you have to stop it. So, I don't know, that idea...
Fortnite has done this. And in that idea of... there was in last year, the Chapter 5, Season 4, they had the Doctor Doom event that happened where he came down and he had, like, billion health. And everyone was fighting in-game for, like, 4 hours to take him down.
Right, so everyone
was fighting together, but of course you could still also grief people that you were fighting with, and you could kill them yourself. But the whole idea was that you worked together to take down Doom.
Yeah,
and
gotcha.
It happened over numerous upon numerous like
games
to
like
actually do
matches.
It.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said, yeah, that was actually kind of fun. But then a lot of people were also like, this isn't the game that I'm usually playing.
And that's fine, yeah. But yeah, that's sort of the thing then. Like that as essentially a whole game. And it might even just be, like, I could imagine putting this out as an indie game. Obviously, the networking and stuff you'd have to figure that out. But I think you could do it in a way that was relatively light. And honestly, you could potentially do it not as a full multiplayer game, but essentially just as you play on your own, but you're getting updates about how much damage has been done to it over time by other players elsewhere also playing. Like, that might be a lighter way to do that. But yeah, I could imagine putting that out.
In like a, slither.io sort of thing where it feels like you're playing with other people because, things are happening at the same time. But in reality, all it is that your stats are going up, and then you got computer like not teammates, but, computer opponents that are also fighting on at the same time to sort of fake that.
Yeah, essentially like ghost players in a way that, for sure. That you can't have any effect on necessarily. And then, or if you wanted to go more ambitious, you could go full out and be like, oh, okay, it's teams of 8 in these, like, and you come up with a story-based thing of like, oh, this is a multi-dimensional being that across all dimensions has started, progressing towards, our planet or whatever it is, our city. And so, teams from every dimension are attacking it.
Which is kind of cool, like, as well. Like, the fact that, maybe you only get, in this one dimension, you only get their knee. So you're going up against just the knee.
Right. Yeah, that could be interesting.
And then
just different, like,
then you go in again and it's like
body.
It's a, you know, it's just a big penis driving.
Yeah, you've just got a big swinging cock.
Dragging along
I knew
the ground.
where you were going.
There's only one of those. Only one of those.
It's just the bits of its body that happen to be like it's like a four-dimensional being, and it's like when you see a cross section of a 3D object in 2D. This is the cross section of that 4D object in 3D, and it just happens to be that it's penis.
Yeah.
You got the penis cross section.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just think even just the mystery of that, like having that up, I could imagine putting that up, just putting a bit of the word out, and it's essentially like a countdown that people are involved in, and that could build up enough players. And like you'd have to make it somewhat fun, but even just having a little bit of jumping around, a few different weapons. Yeah, like I said, like maybe critical spots that appear on it to do more damage.
Got everyone to click buttons on a fucking cube.
I absolutely thought of curiosity as well when I did that, and yes, it would very much be like that, but intentional. And I wouldn't be claiming that there was
shooter
some
style thing with, like maybe you can spend some money and get some better. It's a full.
Absolutely, there you go. And I mean, and definitely at the end or all through it, it's like, hey, leaderboards. Here's the person who's done the most damage to this creature so far this month, and you reset it every month, and you add fucking cosmetics and whatever, because their character shows up on a web page somewhere or in the game or whatever, Yeah, like I could see that working okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I may consider actually trying to build something like that one of these days.
But not before we do this episode of the podcast where we're going to talk, like we did last week, random movies.
Yeah.
We like the idea of using movies as our, jumping off point.
Yep.
So let's see how this movie goes, or this. By the way, we're going to get a movie each, and sometimes we're just going to shove them together and see what happens. And sometimes we're just going to take one of them. Sometimes we're going to not even take any part of the movie and just sort of go, oh, that's a nice word, and take it off. It's just a jumping off point.
Again, use it as a jumping off point, riff on it.
Yeah.
So what did you get?
Police Academy 5.
I got Police Academy last week. Cool. I got The Strangers Chapter 1.
Ooh, okay. So The Strangers is that movie where people wearing masks, come across some people and they come in and they murder the fuck out of them, and it's like, why are you doing this? It's like, because you were home and all that sort of bullshit. And Police Academy 5 is a fun romp where, it's assignment Miami Beach. And so the idea, I kind of like the idea that this is set in Miami. And the strangers are on vacation. They're like, oh, let's just hit up
the serial killer slashers on vacation. Yeah, okay.
And they hit up the wrong home because it's literally the home of Commander Lassard.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
He's like the
the
leader of Police Academy. The funny guy who gets a blowjob in the first one.
I don't know that I've ever watched a Police Academy movie all the way through, and
oh my God,
I don't know that they hold up.
They really don't. Okay, sorry, they hold up better than Revenge of the Nerds, because Revenge of the Nerds are fucked.
That's just like Rape 101, but
yeah. Police Academy is Rape 102.
It's pretty rapey.
It's not as bad, but it's still, you had to have experienced the first one to know how bad
yeah, okay. So anyway, we won't take that aspect of it.
This is where they've gone. Police Academy has gone to a direct to video / direct to TV sort of movie. So unlike most games which are now in widescreen, this is in 4:3.
Pan and scan.
There's something about not having the size of the screen that is kind of creepy, and you could almost have it. Feels kind of, I don't know, soap opera-y.
It would be interesting to try to recreate those sorts of, like, lighting that's not accurate to what you expect. Like, it looks like studio lighting. Yeah, 4x3.
Bright colours, but in a stranger's sort of way, but with funny things happening.
So I did have a thought, and I did like the idea of almost a brawler game, but set in a more enclosed location, like in a house. So, like, you've got all these fucking serial killers essentially come in on this guy, and then you've just got the fucking buff fighter brawler who's fighting them off, and there's tons of, like, environmental damage, throwing them around, grappling.
Oh, this is literally Home Alone, but Kevin got buff.
yeah, potentially, yes.
So
you can set up
different
traps.
The traps are his fucking biceps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Trap 1 and trap 2.
Paint can 1, paint can 2.
That's what he calls his fists.
Yeah.
He just kisses his bicep and, takes him in a headlock.
It's all lead paint, baby.
No, but I definitely see, taking that bright colours of Miami and those sort of like Miami Vice 1980s. It feels, all up vibe, and then you got these serial killer sort of things come through, and it's just grainy footage, if you know what I mean, like it's VHS,
like
style
VHS
footage.
Style. Yeah. So you're fighting them off then in some way? Like, how are we?
See, I don't know whether we should be playing a la Manhunt. Do we want to switch it up and we're playing one of the strangers?
Playing one of the strangers. That could be interesting. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. It's like stalking through this area. Like, are the strangers still in the masks, and like, are they just completely standing out in this bright area because they're just wearing dark clothes?
I do like the idea of you're wearing masks, so your vision is actually kind of cut off. All you can see is literally like you've got Oculus, Oculus on, and you got very tunnel vision.
Yeah.
So maybe it works for VR, like that. A VR stalking game.
Oh, God. I don't know that I want a VR stalking serial killing game. That feels too, like, close to home then. I mean, I feel like there's definitely an audience for it of actually coming up and, like,
I'm gonna
slicing
hide
someone in the
bedroom.
back. Oh, my God. Yeah, they can hear you breathing.
Because the microphone's on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it puts your breathing through.
Oh, God, this is getting too creepy now. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit... I would not want to play one of those games.
Come on.
Okay. Oh, this is Lindsay Lohan's comeback film, Irish Wish.
American Murder, The Family Next Door.
Come on. It's the same fucking thing.
Okay, 3, 2, 1 click for me.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Just getting more murder movies.
What?
What? What did you get?
Okay. If I told you this movie is called War Room.
Okay. I would assume generals, like, high-ranking officials. No, is that not what it is?
The family-friendly movie explores the transformational role prayer plays in the lives of the Jordan family.
Oh, my God. War Room? Is this one of these, like, militant, like, religious...
A middle-class couple who seemingly have it all, great jobs, beautiful daughter, the dream home, but appearances can be deceiving. In reality, the Jordans' marriage has become a war room and their daughter is collateral damage. What the fuck?
This is definitely one of those just, like, horrible uber-Christian movies.
Fun.
Proselytizing.
Fun. Okay, what was your movie again? Let's... 3, 2, 1.
Irish Wish. Irish Wish.
Okay, so that's a Lindsay Lohan comeback.
Lindsay Lohan's comeback film. So this is Maddie's dream guy is days away from marrying her best friend when a wish for true love made on an ancient stone in Ireland magically alters her fate.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
It does. And I've got the 2019 film Freaks.
Oh,
kept locked inside by the house by her father, 7-year-old Chloe lives in fear and fascination of the outside world where abnormals create a constant threat, or so she believes.
Oh, I think I watched that, maybe.
Yeah. I like the idea of the reason, and I'm going off what I kind of remember about the film, is that the actual reason why reality has changed is because Lindsay Lohan, who we're going to get her to do this, she's actually an abnormal who can change reality. She's only
this
just
is not
realizing her powers.
I've not seen this movie. It's different to what I realized, but to what I thought. That's I do like the idea that I do like the idea of a rom-com crossed with a sci-fi. Essentially superhero-ish, superhuman abilities thing. That's really fun.
I just like the idea of her at one stage. You know, she wishes for this guy, and you know everything changes, and now she's the one in, and then she wishes something else, and it's something that she really shouldn't have wished for, and the guy now has two heads, or her friend ends up fully deformed with 15 arms or something
body
like that.
horror,
and it's
that's when
they realize that they actually change reality, and she's got to be very careful with the fact that this is all her subconscious mind that is doing it. That's kind of fucked up. But I love it.
That's a cool idea. I'm trying to think how we bring that sort of narrative in. I mean, we've been doing a lot of point-and-click adventures, you and I. I can see it working in that way.
I just love the idea of a romantic point-and-click adventure game.
But yeah, so
that turns fucking sci-fi.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. You think it's going to be a whimsical, magical rom-com, and then the secret government,
comes
military
and catches you
group
and
comes and finds you, and you start learning about about all these powers.
Oh, and it's one of those things you wish that you could do what a lot of people always wish that you could do, which is the rug pull. Where it's the whole thing looks as though it's just going to be this love story, and you get all the unsuspecting people into playing that, and then only the first. That's only the prologue, and then everything else is this crazy body horror.
Yeah, marketing the game may be tricky, but so my mind's going to. Right, you could do it that way, and you decide they're either trying to recruit her, and then things go badly. She realizes they're doing, they're essentially oppressing these abnormal people. Or the other way I just thought, and it's because we've been playing more of the deductive sort of games, is seeking out abnormals through research and through interviews and things, and you've got your big list, you've got your big tree of. Because maybe it's a hereditary thing, and so you're having to look at
it. It is a genealogy tree, but it's you got to trace the genes down and see.
There's certain situations where the abnormal gene expresses itself.
Yeah. Oh, I do like that, but I just love the fact that it's the start is this. Funny rom-com sort of thing. You got to do that because it's Lindsay Lohan, but it's 20 years later, and she's when she's doing the research into all these things, she's gone through this crazy sort of maybe a military campaign.
You make
or something
all that.
Like that.
You make all that backstory essentially. You skip over all that and reveal some of it through the game as you play. But yes, now she's working for them. Well, she's either working for them and hunting them down, or she's escaped the military and she's trying to find them for the rebellion.
Yeah.
Basically, against the government who's trying to
I like the
suppress them.
idea, kind of similar to. I mean, we've been playing The Root Trees Are Dead. You've got someone who comes in and goes, "We heard that you were part of this military organization. We're putting together like a resistance.
Like the resistance.
We found that these two abnormals were killed recently, but there's something weird about them that they never met, but they are related." And so now we need you to help us trace this down, and then kind of like The Root Trees Are Dead, you get to sort of start analysing people's family tree and
yes. But and something that I think we've talked about maybe last week as well. I like the idea of bringing some more point and click-ish things into those investigative games, or if not full point and click stuff, at least like more dialogue.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you found out about this new person? Okay, you can go and talk to them.
You can call them.
Get information from them, or call them, or whatever it is.
There's something about that, just being able to go, oh, I'll find this person in the phone book, and it's like, oh, there's 5 people that it could be, and then you've got to go, oh, they... on Facebook, I saw them, or whatever the feces book or whatever the fuck it's called. It says, this person was seen at this place, so that's around. Like looking at the map, that's very close to here. So maybe they went there, and that's where they get their coffee. And you can sort of narrow it down that way rather than making too many phone calls and getting like if you've got some weird questions that you're asking, maybe people are gonna. Say I'm being harassed by this person calling me and
I mean,
asking
that would be
about abnormals and
that would be interesting to have means of investigation cut off because you're too persistent. As long as there's other ways to find that info.
The reason why you can't just ring anyone,
right,
is because it's illegal to talk about abnormals there's a. There's a hear something, call us, hear something, say something sort of.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. So you need some confirmation that they will talk to you and are trustworthy before you have an actual conversation. But yeah, I do like that idea of like looking up on maps and that sort of thing. Demon Masquerade had a bit of that, which was nice. Having to cross-reference map locations and streets and
that was a good
different
game.
things.
I loved that game. It was so cool. Yeah. Even after I spent all the time, finished it on your copy because you bought it first, and then I'm like, no, I'm still going to go buy it. And
yeah, no, it's worth it. Well, and we met the dev at PAX, and he seemed like you want to support local devs.
Real cool idea, but deduction games. Get into them. In fact. Listeners out there in the comments on YouTube or add us on Blue Sky, whatever it is. Give us the best deductive games. Like we've played Return of the Obra Dinn. I've been playing Her Story. I want more of these sort of games. Like
I did just notice before that while it doesn't seem to be out yet, Rise of the Golden Idol has got 5 new locked achievements. So clearly the next DLC is coming out very soon.
And I will be getting that straight away because
I think you and I both bought the Detective Pass, didn't we?
Oh, we did too. Yeah.
So we've already bought it. It's already disappear. All right.
That's cool. 3, 2, 1, click.
Journey to the Mysterious Island.
A single man. Journey to a single man.
Journey to a single man. On a mysterious island. Yeah, this is obviously the sequel to Journey to the Center of the Earth or whatever it is. Or it's Journey to... Is that what it is? Yeah, whatever. Yeah. The remake of an older one with The Rock.
Mm-hmm. And then
blah, blah, blah.
This is Journey to... And it's the Mysterious Island. Not a mysterious island. The Journey to the mysterious
the mysterious island. Yes.
So it's not a mysterious island. It is actually named the Mysterious Island.
The Mysterious Island. So is it? Does a single man? Is this Leisure Suit Larry? Whatever we're up to, a single man goes to a mysterious island looking for love. In all the wrong places.
Oh, God. Fuck you. Oh my God. Fucking Larry
polyester.
2. Fucking Larry 2. I got reminded of it the other day. I got onto a tirade in a Discord channel.
Yes.
And as much as I used to love Sierra games, the more I think about it from a dev point of view, I really don't like them.
I mean, they just had a very different style of particularly dealing with, death and certain puzzles and the obscurity of said puzzles or items that you need.
So, the weird thing about this island is no one can die on it. If you die, you come back to life.
Right, you swim back from the shore, like you find yourself just offshore.
Yeah,
you swim back in.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
There's a reason why, and now death makes sense within the game. Like if you die,
I always love a game that has an in-game reason for dying. Yes.
So now there is a reason for I need to be very careful as I'm going across this because. And every time you come back, it's like it's the first time you're entering the island again. It's kind of like a time loopy sort of games, but
a bit like what was that? What was that one that was on the PS5?
Deathloop?
No. It was a roguelike-ish sort of thing, but every time you died, you came back to the start.
Returnal.
Returnal, yeah. Yeah, that wasn't bad. But I could see this being a Returnal sort of thing.
I think it's more action adventure rather than bullet hell because
no, I just meant more from it's got those roguelike-y aspects. You're going through the same areas or like
similar areas,
generated, but similar areas. But yes, the story is progressing in certain ways, no matter how many times you've died. And
what I like is that there's a group of people on the island that you get in contact with at a certain point, and if you have different dialogue depending on how many times you've died, sort of thing. If you haven't died at all, they're kind of normal. But if you've died a bunch, like the idea is that they're starting to see a bit of a change in their environment. Like you're actually doing damage to their environment by dying X amount of times.
Oh, interesting. Okay. It's like sapping energy to bring you back or something. Like the island doesn't have control over it, but it does take energy to...
Yeah. And
to bring people
depending
back.
on how many times you've died and how many times you're going through, like, depends on, whether they're going to be hostile to you or not. And
is this a modern sequel to Pitfall?
Ooh.
Atari's Pitfall. Because I was just thinking of like, okay, what's killing you? And like you could have 100,000 henchmen or whatever in an action adventure sort of thing that are hunting you or whatever, or it could be mostly or all hazards, environmental hazards.
Oh, it's all environmental hazards,
crocodiles in pits.
Stuff. Like, it could be some traps. It could be some things that. Rather than it being, I'm thinking it's more along the lines of, you should have picked up that item back there, and that would have actually, by picking up the shield, you could have actually stopped the arrows from being shot into you from this trap that they've actually got, or
almost an endless runner-ish sort of thing. Not necessarily the pacing of that, but of just you're forever moving forward through this environment. You can pick up certain things that might help you with certain hazards in this randomly generated set of set of things. And the further you get, you get to different environments or you get to different things. And the roguelike-ish aspect of certain things that you pick up, abilities or whatever, they persist after you die.
I see this as sort of like a pixely sort of side-scrolling.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean that's Pitfall. If you really want to go the Pitfall route, but a bit smoother, I think.
A bit smoother, and it's
not the chunky control.
It's always running to the right. It's it's. There is a little bit of verticality at certain points, and you do go left for a little bit, but most of the time you are going right.
So it is essentially a platformer then, like a roguelike platformer based around.
I can foresee that it's kind of a bit another worldy, like
okay,
something about that vibe as well that feels good, but with I don't know less crazy death all the way through, but more as in some of those is like you take a step, the little worm things
coming out with their teeth. God, I have that image. Burnt into my brain. The awesome rotoscoped animations and stuff. So good. Yeah, I could see a roguelike-ish Another Worlds flashback sort of game. That's
but not
interesting. I don't think
Flashback
that's
2,
been done.
because Flashback 2 was a piece of shit.
The 3D one, yeah.
The new one that came out that somehow got, somehow fucked up that whole idea of what Flashback was all about.
I mean, they were experimenting with 3D. What was it called?
Just Flashback 2.
Oh, no. Maybe I'm thinking of it.
Heart of an Alien?
Maybe it was... No. There was another one that was
Another World 2, which was
Flashback 2 came out a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Oh, no. I'm talking about they did a sequel.
Yeah, Heart of an Alien.
No, a 3D sequel. Fade to Black 1995 was a sequel to Flashback, but it was full 3D. It was 3D, early 3D.
Yes, I thought you were talking... Sorry. Heart of the Alien was the sequel to Another World. That's what I was thinking of. Or Out of This World. Yes.
Yeah, well, I think it depended on where you were in the world.
Yes. Fade to Black was actually... I remember playing that.
It was pretty bad, though. Like, I think it was like tank controls, and it was...
Oh, yeah, it was early 3D.
Yeah, it was not great. And it's particularly coming from... Flashback, which was like top of the line pixel art and rotoscoped animation for its time. It looked amazing.
Yeah,
and I mean Flashback didn't look bad for its time, I suppose, but the gameplay was pretty clunky.
Okay, so they did Another World, they did Flashback, they did Fade to Black. They did not do Heart of the Alien, which was a sequel to bloody Another World.
Was it licensed? Like did they license the?
I don't know. Sorry, viewers, but...
yeah, this is a tangent. We don't usually go this long on a tangent, but this is us reminiscing.
So it's got...
Oh, it was Sega CD. Exclusively Sega CD. Heart of the Alien. Maybe it came out on other things later, but...
But it's... How the fuck did they...
It was a fan effort to reverse engineer it to have it run on different things. That's wild. I
don't understand how it even got made, because it's not by the same group. It's like Virgin Games is the only thing that's there. That's similar.
They must have owned.
Yeah,
they must have owned the last the IP, and so they just got a different team to do it. Yeah,
God,
that's funny. It got pretty good reviews apparently for the time.
Yeah, but
it was designed for very much as
the creator of the first game just did not like it at all. He said, he thought the idea was a great idea, but then looked like it sucked.
Yeah,
he wasn't very happy. Jesus. Okay.
Anyway, we won't cut all that, but we'll see. There was a lot of rambling on and looking up things online.
3, 2, 1, click. Just for another quick one.
All right, quick one to make up that little gap.
Now you see me.
A funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer. It's a Marvel one-shot. Like a webisode or something.
Oh, God.
Agent Coulson.
Oh, that's not the one that I thought it was. I thought it was the one where Thor has got a roommate, because that is a fucking funny one-shot.
Oh, I think I have seen that one. No, this is Agent Coulson stops at a convenience store and deals with a coincidental robbery during his visit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I have seen that.
And now you see... Okay, so this is Agent Coulson stumbles across a heist by magicians.
By magicians, yeah. And it's the funny thing that happened on the way to Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
I love that for you're playing this guy who all of a sudden, you saw them shoot someone, and then all of a sudden the gun's gone from their hands. Like, you don't know what's actually happening. You're thinking, fuck, is this some sort of Doctor Strange thing? No, you're in a world with actual with actual magic.
However,
and these guys are just,
their sleight of hand. Yeah. I do like the idea of whether it's going the Agent Coulson thing or not, like sleight of hand magicians in a world where there's actual magic, and whether it's you do it in the Marvel universe or not. But That is a cool thing.
Yeah.
And that people just think they have actual magic to begin with because they're that good at it.
Yeah. And, of course, this is early on in the Marvel universe, so technically they don't know about Doctor Strange yet. But I'm just saying that this is actually perfect. That they know about Doctor Strange and, you know...
Yeah.
Literally...
No, you've said it later. It's
literally, you're there and... You know, while you're looking for these people, they all of a sudden, you know, throw down one of those smoke bombs and they just disappear. And it's like,
disappear.
And all of a sudden you have, you know, Doctor Strange come in and it's like, okay, so
there's no residue.
There's a new type of magic that we've never seen before.
Yeah, he's like researching all of his ancient books and stuff. and then fucking Captain America comes and is like, oh, that's kind of like this Harry Houdini guy I saw once.
Who the fuck's Harry Houdini? What's this got to do with anything, Cap?
Is that the right time period? I don't even know.
Oh, he was 30, so he would have, you know.
Yeah, okay.
He would have known about it at the time because
Harry Houdini died in 26, but
oh
yeah, like whatever, close enough. You need his legacy. Yeah, I love that idea.
I just love the idea that you're playing Stephen Strange in the game. Like Coulson brings Stephen Strange in, and you know you're having to investigate. Like,
oh yeah, you're doing like arcane, you know, investigation checks and things to
trying to see. You know, there's nothing in the ancient texts about, you know, smoke coming out of the ground and, you know, just being able to instantly disappear. Normally you have to actually, you know, use some sort of portal to get away and all this sort of stuff.
Meanwhile, one of the guys is just like hiding in a fucking closet because he couldn't get away fast enough.
They leave. They don't even look because they just
assume that they've portaled
magic is a thing
somehow.
That happens in this world. Like, so they just.
That's actually a really interesting thing of what you can get away with when people assume you're doing real magic, but you're doing sleight of hand.
Okay, you made it look like you did real magic because you had a sparkler.
You just have just a New Year's sparkler. A little flint that you light it with.
Oh my god! Now we need to bring Stephen Strange in to try and trace the portal and see where it ended up.
It's like I don't find any sign of it, but it smells a bit like, you know, it smells a bit weird in here.
It smells
like sulfur.
Oh god!
I want a Marvel movie to have someone trying to fake a Doctor Strange portal with a fucking sparkler. Like, I could definitely see one of the, you know, dumb characters. Yeah, anyway. All right. Well, I think we'll leave it there for tonight.
Yeah, if we would like to find out finally.
Yeah, you know. If you want to find our previous episodes online, go to podchaser.com/bitstorm. They're all there. Shoot us a review. Let us know your favourite deduction games and whatever, and tell us what you thought.
Yeah. And if you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, that song is called Mount Defiance of the album Containment Failure by the band Kuradust, which we were part of. Yes,
once upon a time.
Ben sung using his vocals.
Using my vocal cords,
using my fingers and my bass guitar, and we played music on that.
We put out an album.
Yeah. The album was called Containment Failure. It was cool. It's available for free. You can just go to kuradust.bandcamp.com and you can get it for free.
Go have a listen.
There's some good songs on there.
There are. There's some bad songs on there too.
Yeah.
So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
3, 2, 1, stop.
Sparkler.